Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stopped to think about where your internet actually goes? You tap a link, watch a video, send a message, and it all just happens. But here's the part that messes with your head a little. Almost everything you do online is happening on the tiny, well lit front porch of the internet. The rest is hidden behind doors you don't normally see. And today I'm going to walk you through those hidden layers, why they exist, and what it actually means for you. And quick favor before we go deeper, if you like tech explained in a way that feels obvious instead of exhausting, hit subscribe. I'm Tim, and this channel is basically no jargon, no panic, just clarity. Most people think they understand the internet because they use Google, scroll social media, and shop online. But that's like thinking you understand the ocean because you've seen waves at the beach. What if I told you there's an entire digital world operating underneath your daily browsing that's dramatically bigger than what you can easily search and see? And what if some of that hidden space is quietly protecting your privacy right now, while a smaller part of it is used for things you would definitely not want to stumble into? Here's what everyone gets wrong about the internet's hidden layers. People hear terms like deep web and dark web and immediately mash them together into one scary idea. Like it's all the same thing and it's all criminal. That's like thinking your locked house and an underground bunker are the same thing just because they're both not visible from the sidewalk. The reality is way more practical and honestly, way less Hollywood. Let me paint you a picture using something you already understand: your neighborhood. Imagine the internet as a massive city with three distinct areas. The surface web, where you spend most of your time, is like downtown. It's bright, busy, and designed for everyone to see and use. Stores have signs, restaurants have menus in the window, and there are maps everywhere showing you how to get around. Search engines are like tour guides. They don't build the city, but they help you find the public places. But here's where it gets interesting. Just like a real city, most of the space isn't public. The deep web is like all the private buildings in our internet city: your house, your office, your gym membership area, your bank vault. These places exist. They're connected to the same streets as everything else, but you need a key to get in. When you log into your email account, you're stepping into the deep web. When you check your bank balance online, you're there. When you use a patient portal or an internal work system, you're definitely there. Think about it this way. Can a stranger type your name into a search bar and read all your private messages? Of course not, because those messages live behind a password wall. That's the deep web doing its job. It's not automatically dangerous. It's just private. In fact, you're already a deep web user, whether you realize it or not. Every time you sign into anything with a username and password, congratulations, you're using the deep web. And this is important. This private layer is huge because it includes the stuff that should not be publicly searchable: personal accounts, private records, subscription databases, company tools, and anything that would be a disaster if it was exposed by default. People throw around numbers like the deep web is 95% of the internet. And while nobody can measure it perfectly, the big idea is still true. The internet you can casually search is only a slice of what exists. Now, the dark web is different. If the surface web is downtown and the deep web is private buildings, then the dark web is more like a hidden tunnel system you can't reach with normal roads. It's intentionally hidden, not just password protected. You don't just log in and land there. It sits on top of the regular internet in a way that's designed to make the location and identity of sites and visitors harder to track. Here's the basic concept of how that hidden access works, without turning this into a how-to. When you normally browse the internet, your device connects in a way that reveals an identifying network address to the services you talk to. It's not your exact street address, but it often points to your connection and can be used to guess your rough location. It's like driving around town in a car that's easy to recognize. But dark web style privacy tools work more like a relay system. Your connection gets wrapped in layers of encryption, then it gets passed through multiple computers before it reaches its destination. Each stop along the way only knows a small piece of the story. It knows where it came from and where it's going next, but not the full route. So no single middle point can easily see both who you are and where you ultimately ended up. That's why you'll hear people describe it like layers, like an onion. It's built to reduce tracking and make surveillance harder. So why would anyone want that level of privacy? The answer is actually one of the most important things to understand about modern life. Privacy isn't just for people doing something wrong. In some places, speaking freely can get you punished. Journalists reporting on corruption, activists organizing for human rights, and ordinary citizens trying to communicate under censorship may rely on anonymity tools to stay safe. Whistleblowers also need ways to share information without instantly losing their job, their safety, or their freedom. Then there are people who simply don't want constant tracking. They don't want every click turned into a profile, sold to advertisers, or used to target them emotionally. For them, privacy isn't a vibe, it's a boundary. But here's where things get complicated because any tool that offers strong anonymity can be used for good or for bad. The same technology that can protect an activist can also attract criminals who think they can't be caught. There have been illegal marketplaces and forums used to trade stolen data, drugs, weapons, and worse. Law enforcement does pursue these spaces, and sometimes they do shut major operations down. But it's a constant cat and mouse game because the whole point of these networks is to be harder to map and monitor. And then there's the third category that nobody talks about, the weird and the boring. A lot of the hidden internet is not dramatic. It's niche forums, private communities, abandoned projects, hobby groups, and people writing under a pseudonym because they don't want their real name attached to everything they think. Some of it is thoughtful, some of it is unhinged, some of it is just empty. Now let's clear up a few misconceptions that always show up. First, is it illegal to access the dark web? In many places, downloading and using privacy-focused browsing tools is legal. What matters is what you do with them. It's like owning a kitchen knife. The knife isn't illegal. What you choose to do with it is where the line is. Second, the dark web isn't nearly as friendly as the normal internet. It can be slow, clunky, and inconvenient because privacy comes with trade-offs. You don't casually browse it the same way you casually browse the surface web. And the biggest thing people miss is this. Most online threats don't require anything mysterious. The majority of internet scams and cybercrime that hits everyday people happens on the regular web through phishing, fake logins, shady downloads, and social engineering. The dark web gets attention because it's spooky, not because it's where most people get harmed. So what does all this mean for you? If you value basic privacy, the deep web is already protecting you every day. Your accounts, private messages, and sensitive records are supposed to live behind doors, not on billboards. If you care about censorship, corporate tracking, or just understanding how privacy works, it helps to know that the internet isn't one single place. It's layered. The surface web is the public city, the deep web is private buildings, and the dark web is a small, intentionally hidden set of tunnels designed for anonymity, used by people for reasons that range from noble to criminal to simply personal. You don't need to go exploring anything hidden to benefit from understanding it. Just knowing the difference between private and intentionally anonymous helps you think more clearly about security, privacy, and the stories people tell you online. So the next time someone says deep web or dark web like they're the same thing, you'll know they're not. One is where your private digital life already lives. The other is a specialized anonymity layer used by people who absolutely don't want to be easily tracked for better or for worse. If this made the internet feel a little more understandable, subscribe for more tech explained without the headache. And if you want a perfect follow-up, the next video to watch is how VPNs actually work and what they can't do, because that's another topic with a lot of myths hiding under the surface.